What I do want to talk about, though, and to the what is Avalanche question, are subnets.
Great question. Avalanche is a latest generation blockchain, and it has this architecture based on what we call subnets. Subnets are unique, custom purpose, custom designed blockchains for a specific purpose. What does that mean, and why might you need it? If we go back, we have systems like Bitcoin, which are single asset, single chain systems. They do one job, they do it incredibly well. We have systems like Ethereum, which are multi-asset but single-chain systems. There's only one Ethereum, and it's supposed to meet the needs of the world, but it's very hard to do so. Systems like Avalanche are different. So not only is the consensus protocol faster, but it has a different architecture. It's not a single chain.
Yeah.
Multi-asset, multi-chain.
Yeah.
Each and every one of the chains can be completely different from the other. I think we have about 5 dozen chains that are in production, with hundreds that are being staged right now.
The last time we spoke about the Avalanche blockchain on this channel was in late June when the AVAX token sat near its bear market lows at $11. I did say I felt this was a very strong buying opportunity for the project, and since then the AVAX token actually went on a nice 50% rally up to $16. I believe the reason the AVAX token rallied is because of the record adoption of the Avalanche blockchain, which has now consecutively month over month been breaking a record in terms of new monthly active users. Additionally, there has been a ton of adoption of Avalanche subnets by some of the biggest companies in the world, including Amazon, Alibaba, and Tencent, as well as from a slew of financial institutions testing tokenization and on-chain finance via the evergreen subnet Spruce. In fact, this testing has been such a big deal that the Bank of America recently released their Global Digital Assets Report, in which the Avalanche evergreen subnets were highlighted as a key platform powering the future of tokenization and value transfer. And when factoring in the enterprise and institutional adoption of the Avalanche blockchain, I do believe the AVAX token does in fact have that triple-digit price potential in the future. We're going to talk about all of this and more in today's video. Now, before we get into the price action, I do want to discuss what makes Avalanche unique from every other blockchain, and that is none other than the subnet feature. You guys heard the Avalanche CEO discuss the importance of subnets there in the opening clip, and essentially subnets allow for infinite scalability of the Avalanche blockchain as institutions, enterprises, and big tech companies can actually basically customize and create their own blockchain. All of them do run from the Avalanche primary network, but they are all separately of each other, meaning that none of them are fighting for transactions. This means that each of these blockchains can handle Avalanche's 4,500 transactions per second, and it does allow for full customization in terms of making the blockchain either private or public, as well as deciding if they want to make a decentralized application, if they want to use it for tokenization, if they want to use it for Web3 gaming. So essentially, we are talking about fully customizable, infinitely scalable blockchains. And to actually open a subnet, the one thing that the CEO did not mention in the video is that you have to stake 2,000 AVAX to create this subnet. This means that there is in fact a direct correlation between the adoption of Avalanche subnets and the demand for the AVAX token. And demand here for the Avalanche blockchain and subnets has definitely been on the rise. And this is not just interest from retail. We have seen interest from some of the biggest companies and institutions in the world. And the first one here I do want to talk about is none other than AWS, who did partner out with Avalanche, and effectively they are looking to make it easier for individuals to launch and manage nodes on Avalanche, while also supporting their infrastructure and decentralized ecosystem through one-click node deployment. So making it a lot easier for people to actually go ahead and launch their own subnets through the Avalanche blockchain. And it says right here that Avalanche plans to add its subnet deployment as a managed service to the AWS marketplace, effectively making it easier for individuals and institutions to access. And we also saw from John Wu here, the president of Avalanche, saying that there are over 100 subnets that will be deployed in the next 6 to 12 months, and they're looking forward to sharing this partnership with the hundreds of subnets that will be launched this year. And we also heard from the CEO in the opening clip that there are hundreds of subnets waiting to be launched, all of which will require these companies, these developers, to lock up 2,000 AVAX to do so. So I think it's a very big deal that Amazon is looking to tap into Avalanche here. This is not a blockchain going ahead and using AWS. This is a mutually beneficial partnership between AWS and Avalanche, showing you that the largest cloud service provider in the world sees the potential in the infinite scalability of Avalanche subnets. Additionally, Alibaba partnered up with Avalanche here, and it says here that they are looking to bring Alibaba's clients a launchpad called the Cloudverse, aiming to help businesses customize, launch, and maintain their own metaverse spaces on Avalanche's blockchain. We also saw TENCENT Gaming here, enabling rapid node deployment on the Avalanche public blockchain. And if you don't know who TENCENT is, I'm going to take a look at some of the video games that TENCENT has made, as this is one of the largest companies in the world, period. And you can see here that there are a lot of games that are very popular. If you're not a gamer, I'm sure, if your kid's a gamer, then you've definitely heard of some of these. We're talking about Valorant, Call of Duty, PUBG Mobile, Honor of Kings, Arena of Valor, League of Legends is a massive one. So yes, Tencent is a gaming giant, and they are in fact tapping into Avalanche subnets here. And we actually saw a direct quote from the head of gaming at Ava Labs, saying that the capabilities that Tencent and Avalanche will deliver are incredibly exciting for the future of games built on blockchain. Tencent is a global powerhouse in both the gaming and infrastructure space, and this collaboration opens the door to building truly incredible Web3 gaming experiences. So clearly, in terms of enterprises and major companies, Avalanche has been a very popular pick among some of the biggest in the world. And the next thing that we do look for, or tend to look for when it comes to these blockchains and cryptos, is institutional adoption, something that Avalanche is also definitely not lacking. And this all started with the launch of their evergreen subnets to drive on-chain finance innovation. So we actually saw initial institutional partners including T. Rowe Price Associates, Wisdom Tree, Wellington Management, and Cumberland. And we see right here directly from the head of digital asset strategy at T. Rowe Price Associates. He says that participating in the Avalanche Spruce testnet presents a valuable opportunity to deepen our understanding and analysis of smart contract technology and the potential applications of public permissioned blockchains in financial markets. And here is from the head of digital assets at Wisdom Tree. We believe tokenization and blockchain will play an important role in financial services going forward. Avalanche Spruce provides an opportunity to further explore the potential efficiencies and benefits of on-chain trading and settlement with other financial institutions. We are looking forward to experimenting in this EVM-based testing environment. So here we actually have institutions testing their very own subnets to look for on-chain finance and tokenization, something that is such a big deal it did in fact catch the attention of the Bank of America. So Bank of America here released a whole paper basically on the power of tokenization and the digital transformation. They say here that traditional asset tokenization may reach 16 trillion plus, transforming infrastructure and markets over the next 5 to 15 years. Tokenization enables efficiencies, faster, cheaper, simpler, and catalyzes a new generation of software as a service companies. And they say here that DLT is more than just crypto trading. Institutional and corporate use cases are in fact in production. So we can see here, this is a direct quote from the whole paper that they released. And it says here that Avalanche, so platforms powering the future of trading / value transfer may include Avalanche's evergreen subnets for TradeFi tokenized asset settlement. So a very big deal here that the Bank of America is in fact acknowledging the evergreen subnets as a popular choice for traditional finance tokenized asset settlement. And if we do see more institutions actually get on board here and look to open their very own subnets, they too will have to buy and stake AVAX to power their subnet. So I do want to kind of move into now what Avalanche does currently have going on in DeFi. And the number one thing that I do think sets Avalanche apart from basically every other blockchain out there is the fact that there is currently more Bitcoin being held on the Avalanche blockchain than there is on Bitcoin's native Layer 2 solution, the Lightning Network. So we can see here that as of early July, the Bitcoin and Lightning Network sat at about a peak of about 5.5k Bitcoin and is currently now down to about 4.95k Bitcoin. Now let's compare that to the Avalanche blockchain, who in March of 2023 actually peaked out at about 10,000 BTC.B, which is the bridged version of Bitcoin, and now currently sits at 4.96k. So we can see here that if the data is correct from both DeFi Llama and Dune Dashboard, which are generally very reliable for data, the Avalanche blockchain is still slightly beating out the Lightning Network. Lightning Network coming in with 4.95k and the AVAX blockchain coming in with 4.96k. So we can see here that not institutional adoption, but actual Bitcoin adoption on the Avalanche blockchain has been very popular. And I think there's one big reason for this that does have to do with one of the biggest dexes on Avalanche, Trader Joe. So we can see here that if you are actually able to bridge over your Bitcoin to the Avalanche blockchain, there is a very juicy incentive to do so. You can actually stake your BTC.B and your USDC in a liquidity pool for a 96.45% yield. And you can see here, you can also stake your BTC.B to AVAX in a liquidity pool for 53.34%. So here's the thing, and once again, it should go without saying, this is not financial advice. There is always risk associated, especially with bridging your crypto over something like Bitcoin to the Avalanche blockchain and looking to generate your yield that way. But the main point here is that people are seeing the incentive to bridge it over and kind of risk it for the biscuit and getting that juicy yield. So something that sets Avalanche apart from every other blockchain out there is it currently holds more Bitcoin than the Lightning Network does, and I don't think there's any other blockchain out there that can say the same. So a very good look for Avalanche. It shows you that it's a very versatile blockchain. Institutions are using it, retail is using it, and subnets are powering a whole bunch of different use cases, including tokenization and Web3 gaming, two themes which I cover pretty frequently on the channel, as I do believe those are going to be key themes in the next bull run. So Trader Joe here is a very popular choice for Avalanche. And now we've also seen Uniswap, the largest DEX by volume, also live on Avalanche. And to kind of give you some perspective on how much total value locked this could bring into the Avalanche ecosystem, let's take a look at Uniswap here. So this is the leading DEX on Ethereum. It is also multi-chain on other stuff like Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, the Binance Smart Chain, and the Salo chain. And we can see here that in the past 24 hours, Uniswap has done 970.2 mil in volume, while the second largest PancakeSwap has done only 227 mil. And I say only because if you compare that to the amount of volume Uniswap has done, Uniswap is miles ahead of the competition, actually millions ahead. So we can see here now in terms of 7-day volume that the Uniswap DEX has come in at 6.567 billion in volume, and the PancakeSwap DEX has come in at 2.215 bill. So about once again, like almost tripling the volume that has been done here on second place, and that is why Uniswap making its way to the Avalanche blockchain could be a big driver of growth for this chain in the future. And this comes at a time where Avalanche already sits in a very good spot, in my opinion, in 5th place across all blockchains in TVL. It is sitting here with 1.43 billion in TVL. Arbitrum is in 4th place with 2.4 billion in TVL, so about a 1 billion lead on Avalanche. And Polygon is behind Avalanche in 6th place with 950 million in TVL, so behind Avalanche by about 500 million. And this is why I do see it remaining in the top 5 for the foreseeable future, especially if we do see the launch of these institutional subnets and a ton of big money flowing into this chain. Now that is it for the blockchain rankings, and I do want to wrap things up taking a look at the AVAX chart. The last time we actually made a video about AVAX, I said I believe there was a very good buying opportunity at the $11 range. If you had bought it at the $11 range and rode it up to that peak of about $16, that made for a nice 43% swing trade on this token. Now what I'm noticing when it comes to AVAX here is we are getting continuously rejected at the bull market support band. We got rejected here back in May after running about 100% earlier this year and actually breaking above it. Now we've been rejected once again here in July, and it does look like AVAX actually wants to make its way back down to this area of support at $11 to $10. So if the AVAX token does find its way back to this area, I will be treating it once again as a buying opportunity. And we can actually see here, zooming out, why that's the case. So taking a look here, you're going to notice right off the bat that we can actually see AVAX has in fact bounced off of this area on two separate occasions. The first one here was in the new year when it rallied over 100% up to $22, and the second one here was based on that nice 50-ish% rally that we saw. So based on the prior price action and price history of this token, it does appear that this area has been a very strong level of demand for AVAX recently, and right now it does look like AVAX is actually getting continuously rejected by this downtrending channel. So nothing changes in the altcoin market unless we do see some fundamental news that does cause a breakout. I actually do suspect that in the coming months we will get yet again another buying opportunity for this token, and I really do like it anywhere in this $10.50 to $11 range, as it is trading very nicely here in between $10 and $20, which does make for a swing trade of about 100% there, about a double up from those lows of this range. Now, when you talk long-term about AVAX, yes, I do in fact believe it does have the potential to not only hit, but also to surpass its previous bull run all-time highs. So stacking it in the long-term portfolio, but also looking at the charts for any potential trading opportunities as well. And if we actually zoom out here and take a look at much prior history, we're going to notice that going back to the first bull run, this $10 area, give or take, has been a very strong area, $10.50 to be specific. So back here in January of 2021, AVAX ran from $10 all the way up to about $60, really just in the matter of a couple of weeks. And then here again in July of 2021, this is when AVAX went on that monster run from $10 up to $150. So historically speaking, this has been a very strong buying opportunity, and prior history does suggest that it will continue to act as one. So that's what I'm looking for when it does come to the AVAX chart. Not financial advice, but based on the trading history of this project, $10.50 to $11 does look like a very good opportunity in my opinion. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy the content in today's video. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I am wishing you all an amazing weekend ahead, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.